Now, a lot of us are learning how to, let's just say, channel our higher aspects or our soul. So that is the point where you can get information that's actually not coming from your ego. Hey everybody, it's Shey. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, I am a conscious channel and a Akashic and Galactic practitioner, Akashic clearing course. So if you have contracts and things of that nature or chakras that need to be cleared, that's where that's going to come in. And I can tell you about some of like your master programs and your soul programs that you're working through and things of that nature, and clear some of those too if they're not serving you and they're from, let's just say, ancestral lineages or other timelines. So anyway, I'm glad you're here, and if you have any comments about, let's just say, anything I say, please drop them below and I would love to answer them. So today what I would like to talk about is, let's just say, discernment. So discernment is something really big, and I know I've already made a video on this, but a lot of people are not understanding that discernment is something that helps you spiritually evolve. So when you first start out, let's just say with your spiritual awakening, you may hear things, get thoughts, knowings, and things of that nature. So a lot of times though, the thoughts you get are not necessarily yours. I've made a video on this before. It's in my playlist. But yeah, they can be from either the collective, they can be from other beings around you, they can be from your neighbor, down the street. It just depends. So a lot of us are opening up and are very intuitive, and everybody can do this because we're all one and we're all actually connected. So you can pick up on energy and information from other people very easily until you learn to how to, let's just say, prioritize yours and kind of like shut off other information that's coming into you. So this is where people get really overwhelmed. So a lot of people first awaken and they just have all sorts of stuff going on. You could have a Kundalini awakening, and I can tell you from experience, those are not easy because you get everything thrown at you at once. So when you're blown that wide open, it can be really, really hard to, let's just say, discern what is going on around you. So with that being said, a lot of discernment comes from experience, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but a lot of us are on discernment programs, meaning let's just say from the minute you awaken, you're getting stuff thrown at you, and this program's testing you to see, do they get this or they get that or they get this or not, until you get to the points where you actually know what it feels like energetically to actually be connected to 100% divine light entities. So I will say this, it's taken me many years. Granted, I had a lot of contracts to do some crazy stuff and have attachments and things of that nature. I'm not going to get into this video, but if you'd like to know more about my story, you can look in my playlist. I believe it's titled My Story, and that way you can listen to everything that happened to me up until this point. So now at this point, I have finally been able to connect to my higher aspects and 100% divine light, beings. So, but before that, I could not. So it took me, 5 years? Yeah, so it's a long discernment phase. So what a lot of people don't understand is they come in and they just start channeling. They start channeling information. And, by channeling, it can be anything, honestly. School teachers channel when they're teaching. If you're channeling art, things of that nature, it just flows through you. When you're in the space of joy and you're connected to your heart space, the information just flows through. And then that is when you're connected to your higher aspects. Now, a lot of us are learning how to, let's just say, channel our higher aspects or our soul. So that is the point where you can get information that's actually not coming from your ego, because your ego is the one that's always blah, 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 the one that's pushy, won't leave you alone, things of that nature. Do not listen to that voice. I can tell you right now, it ran my whole life all the time, had me running around with like a chicken with my head cut off, doing things my entire life, keeping me busy, keeping me engaged, and things of that nature, when your soul just wants you to be at peace and quiet and listen. So I was raised, like I said in my other videos, story about me, if you want to look down playlist, but I was raised in the Southern Baptist family, so I was always raised that you pray, and I have nothing against prayer. Prayer is great. With a good intention is great, because, words are spells. That's why they call it spelling, right? So, your intention when you pray, is what I'm saying is, as long as it's positive and things of that nature. You can also just, throw words at people and be angry and mad, and then that could have a bad intention. So with intention, you set the intention about, like, what you want to manifest, what you want to do, you know? So manifestation is basically you have to be in the frequency match for that to manifest. So a lot of people think, oh, I can just make all these boards and, you know, I need to set my focus on there. And yes, but you still have to be at the right frequency, and it has to be part of your soul path. A lot of people don't understand that as well. We all have soul paths, and on those soul paths, you know, they can splinter off. Like I've been shown, it's kind of like a lattice, you know, like the lattice spreads. And so you have your main one, which is for your higher, you know, your higher self, or not your higher self, you know, your highest and best good. But then you also have all these branches in the lattice, right? So the more you veer off, you know, and you go different directions, your guides are always trying to guide you back. So, and if you're not paying attention, then you know, they could make you, like you say, get injured or something happen like that because you're not paying attention to get you back on your highest path and what your soul wanted to experience here. So what I mean by all this is that, you know, a lot of people pray, but they don't meditate. Meditate is where you actually get the thoughts, the knowings. You know, some people are clairvoyant, get visions. You know, some people get knowings, you know, claircognizance. Some people are clairaudient and hear things. So with that being said, you know, meditation is key. And meditation also helps calm the mind to where you can actually get the information. You know, just sitting quietly, even if it's for like 5 minutes, that helps. But anyway, for today, that is the message. You know, discernment, it takes a while, and I know I've made videos on discernment before, but if you're having a really hard time with discernment and learning discernment, I would say, you know, go within, meditate, see if you're getting information, and if not, and you're still having a really hard time, you know, come to my website, sign up to have a session with me, you know, or you can drop a comment below and I can see what I get. But I'm telling you, a lot of times you don't understand what's going on in your life, things of that nature, because you have these hidden contracts or it's ancestral patterns and things that need to be cleared. And that's why Akashic clearings help. But anyway, that is my message for the day. If anybody has any questions, drop a comment below and I'll get back to you in the comments. I hope everybody has a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.